All right, so let's wrap up monopoly real quick. I got 2 slides left on this. Okay, so like I said, monopolists can have a positive profit as long as price is greater than average total cost, and we saw that right here. Right, the pie was given by the difference between price and average total cost times the quantity. Okay, here it is again, drawn pretty nicely. Notice that the long run average total cost is not going to be equal to the minimum average total cost. There's no entry to bring price down to average total cost, so it's not like the price is going to drop, leading the marginal revenue to intersect at this point or anything like that. Nope, there's no entry, so price is where it is. It's at this point here. And that leads to basically a productive inefficiency where the firm isn't producing at its lowest possible cost point. It's producing at an average total cost here, where it can produce here. Nor is it producing at the level that benefits consumers the most, like an allocative inefficiency. So ideally the firm should want to, or ideally society wants the firm to produce here, right? Like to the point where the marginal cost is equal to the price, the willingness to pay. But instead they don't, and there's a deadweight loss, which is what I highlighted. Okay. So marginal revenue is no longer constant, right? It's like a line, a straight line going downwards. It doesn't have to be straight, I shouldn't say that, but it's a line going downwards depending on the what's called the derivative of the demand function. But it'll just be like a line with the slope different than the demand function. Okay. And the difference between your marginal revenue, your price, and your marginal cost here, the intersection between marginal cost and demand, is going to be your deadweight loss. So a little bit scaled up. This is where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. This is where demand equals marginal cost, and this is where price. This is the price for the quantity produced. That will be the 3 points for your triangle of deadweight loss here. Okay. So consumers pay a price higher than the marginal revenue to producers, right? This is the marginal revenue. This is the consumer price. Okay. This causes a deadweight loss. Some consumers will value the good more than it costs to produce it, but they don't get it. They don't get the good in the market, so it's allocatively inefficient. Okay. Therefore, it's also Pareto inefficient. You can design a better system if the system in which the monopolist gets the same profit, and also the government steps in and maybe like gives these goods away or something like that, will be a more efficient system, which leads to what's called antitrust, okay, or monopoly breaking. So this is something that's in the news now, where if you have a monopoly on a particular good and the government thinks that's an inefficient monopoly, like something where the incentive problem doesn't exist, or some like that the monopoly doesn't necessarily need to be in existence, the government will bust it, and that's called antitrust. The policy of going through legal proceedings to prevent monopolies, okay, or to break monopolies up. Okay. There's a couple high-profile monopoly cases that just happened, and these were in your discussion sections. So Google's in a current monopoly case. Facebook is in a monopoly case. And then there was one collusion case, which isn't a technical monopoly in the sense of there's like many firms that produce this particular good. In this case, it was chicken. So it was like Pilgrim's Chicken or something like that, or Proud Pilgrim or something. But this chicken firm colluded. They essentially got all the heads of the other chicken firms on the phone, and they said, we're going to charge the monopoly quantity and monopoly price. And everybody agreed. So they broke up the price by like let's say there were four firms that broke up the price by, or the quantity by four, and they each charged a monopoly price, and this was bad for consumers because it led to the deadweight loss, loss in consumer surplus. So the government stepped in and said, "Hey, this is illegal what you're doing. You're supposed to be a competitive industry. Instead, you're price fixing. That's that's a violation of antitrust." Um, so the government acted on our behalf to bust that monopoly, and it should be good for consumers as a whole. All right. So now we're going to talk about monopolistic competition for like 5 minutes tops, and then oligopoly for even lower, and then monopsony.